Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Roadkill Projects, where the Restarsto returns. You asked for it, you're gonna get it. Alright, everybody. You asked for it, and you're gonna get it. So, I think about a week ago, or more, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, no, 2 weeks, because Need for Speed Heat came out. Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, I put out a little video saying what car you wanted to see me bring back. And I put up an Instagram post of 10 vehicles that are currently in the fleet that could potentially make a comeback. And the most votes that I've received were for the Restarsto. Oddly. Very, very oddly, because this is the most perfect vehicle in the fleet. There's nothing wrong. Well, there is a little issue with it, but there's nothing extremely wrong with it. The 291 is perfect. The supercharger is perfect. The car runs great. And it's just an all-around perfect car. And I thought about putting nitrous on it, and then I thought, it's a little 291. It's probably not going to hold more than a 50 shot of nitrous and probably maybe go high 10s. So that ain't interesting coming off of the last episode going to fucking 798. So basically, we're going to do a couple fixes to the car. We're going to return some things to stock, actually. I'm going to put some, some stockish, new at least, but, stock Barstow brakes back on it. And if this car does ever break in the future, I have complete faith in the 291. It's a perfect motor. It's perfect in this car. I am going to put the stock rear end back in the car because the GRS stuff, as cool as it is, some of it isn't working anymore. And, oh yeah, an exhaust. I want to make the car quiet. I hate to do that, but I want to make the car quiet. But first off, yep, see, there you go. There's the issue. It's getting an over rev risk, and I'm pretty sure this car has an adjustable rev limiter. Let's just go through the motor options to see, because we did do an update on this car. I think last year, we did an update on this thing. Front subframe. So yeah, it's a 291 cubic inch V8 with a stage 1 performance long block. It's got a stage 2 supercharger, so that might be too much boost for this thing. And it does not have an adjustable rev limiter, so we might be able to solve that issue with an adjustable rev limiter. We might have to choke the car, which I wouldn't like to do that. Maybe it's time for the motor to pop out and maybe put some better internals in it, but let's take it for a drive to see if anything else needs to be touched. It's fine. Really is a fine car. When the hell did that get there? Okay. This thing is running completely, fine. I understand what people wanted to see with this car. It is gnarly. Ooh. Yeah, no, I don't see what's wrong with it. Other than, putting an adjustable rev limiter on it. Making the car quiet. I want to put the stock exhaust back on because there's no good side pipes for the Barstow. So until Beamng adds side pipes for this car, I'm just going to leave the stock exhaust on it. And yeah, we're going to put the brakes back to stock. Because, yeah. Basically, that's the whole point of it, because the GRS brakes, they lock up bad. Ooh. But let's do the one thing that this car does best. Love this thing. Alright, well, let's take it back and work on it before I actually blow up the 291 and this episode ends up running for 2 days, which I don't want. But basically, we're going to hop up the car, we're going to take a road trip into town, and we're going to look at a vehicle that is going to be in an upcoming special for the show. Alright, so, yeah, car ain't dead. But we got a couple things to do, and I think the first thing that we have to do completely is the rev limiter. Never wanted to put one on this car, never thought I'd have to, but I think we have to. But I'm going to put an adjustable one on so then we could at least have some control of how high the car is revving instead of just putting a base one on. Base one's only going to let it rev to $5 grand. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much. Yeah, see, the base one would only let us rev to there, but I'm going to try to rev it out to 5,500 and see if that saves it. I think there it was revving out to 5,800, so 55 should be at least a little bit better on the 291 until I decide to fix it. And let's just put the good old dual exhaust back on. I think this is the Beamng exhaust. Oh yeah, it's definitely it. For sure. Alright, that's it. I don't think there's anything transmission-wise that needs to be done. Could use a flywheel, but that's for an engine rebuild. But yeah, we're putting on regular old disc brakes. We're going to keep premium pads on it. It seems to be the thing in this game to do. If you want to have like decent brakes that aren't going to lock up bad, the premium or the semi-race front brakes, or the semi-race pads, usually seem to be the best ones to do. At least from, you know, the little bit of testing that I've done. I did it on the cop car, and it solved the brake lockup issue. And I'm going to guess that it's going to stop it on this, too. This thing doesn't have power steering. Odd. It just shows how old this thing is. I haven't touched this thing in a while. This is like the first time I've actually driven it in a while. But, yeah. What should I do? No, not the rear disc brakes. Race, it's rear drum. I'm just gonna put regular old drums on it. I don't think we'll be going crazy with this thing on a track anytime soon. And plus, I think the brake pads that are gonna be in it are gonna be half decent anyways. So, car should be fine. Just swap out the pads. If I can get there. Semi rear brake pads. Yeah. Just gotta tune the rev limiter. We'll take it for a little loop around again. Hopefully it doesn't choke the car on power too much. Setting the rev range to 55. If not, it's just going to need a built block to run 6,000 RPM. It's going to severely choke the car, though. I know that. To lose that couple bit of RPM. Alright, let's see. Ain't giving me an over rev error. I gotta get it on a straight road. Because it seemed like at the top of fourth gear is where it happened the most, the few times that I drove the car before it was parked for a while. Oh yeah, the brakes are way better now. Might have a little bit of fun with the rev limiter timing. Maybe make it a little fast rev limiter. Seems to be better though. Doesn't seem that choked on power. It is. The car feels a lot slower through the gears, which does suck, but should be my road to get it in the fourth gear. I think it's fixed, but I do want to try really quick. Let's just turn it up to 6,800. Let's see if it's just, or not 6,800, it's 5,800. And just see if it'll have the same issue. If not, I'll just turn it right back down. This is probably right where it was before. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, that looks almost exactly where it was. Odd. It almost just seemed like that it needed a rev limiter. Let's do... Really weird how that just started to happen. The car feels as fast as it was, though. I think it's fine. I think it's fixed. Yeah. No, I think, yeah. Very good. Alright, this thing's fixed. Let's go and take a look at the car. I don't want to get for a special coming up. And yeah, you'll be seeing a projects episode coming up really, really soon. Like probably next episode is going to be bringing back one of the vehicles, trying to get it ready, trying to make it, you know, a little better. It's very hard to make the car right, but yeah, that'll be in an extra coming up, or not an extra, in a special coming up, or a special. It'll be in a projects episode and a special coming up very soon. But yeah, let's get on the road. So, I thought I'd use a little bit of the video's time to talk about a little something really quick. So basically, you know, I haven't been known to do many of the real life videos. I've done two. I did one with me and my dad in his truck off-roading, and one of us fucking around with Power Wheels. And that was just a terrible idea from the get-go. It was poorly executed, and yeah, I regret ever getting that shit. I wish one of the ideas would have went through, but it's just we couldn't get everybody together for it. But yeah. But basically, I haven't been known to do too much of that stuff, and ever since I want to say May of last year, I've talked about this on the channel, and you can see it on my Instagram and on Sean's Instagram, that Sean has bought a 1977, I think, Volkswagen Bug. Basically Little Herb. It's based off of the version that we've made in the game. Of course, we had to replicate his Bug, and it's pretty actually identical. Like, the Bug is basically set up like the one in this game. But it's not made for off-roading. It's more made for... It's a cruiser, like I just turned this car into. And I have footage of us trying to fix it, and it's really all over the place. We didn't really have a purpose. It's basically kind of like this series, but with no really director behind it. Like, I'm not telling a story through it or anything. But me and Sean, we had to do a couple things to the Beetle. First off, the Beetle ran into an electrical issue, and we thought it was a battery. We did battery terminals, and that wasn't a fix. Him and his father eventually found that there was a short in the Beetle. And then the Beetle was good for a little bit, and our goal was to take it to a car show that is local, and we never did that for the whole year. Of course, we eventually ended up going to this car show, and it was a complete shithole. Worst one Sean's ever been to. He said this was my first one, and apparently they're no longer holding them. But yeah, we never got to take the Beetle because every time we wanted to take it to this car show, we ran into issues, and the Beetle wouldn't run right. What else? A lot was wrong with the Beetle. And then finally, I think the end of July, me and Sean basically brought the issue down to a fueling issue, at least what we thought, and it wasn't a fueling issue. We did a compression test, and I think cylinder number 4 had 0 compression, and that's because 2 of the valve stems broke. And, we thought Sean needed to get a whole new motor and everything, and he fixed the Beetle. He replaced the valve stems and everything with his dad. It was great. Now, all this I don't have on recording because of Sean's hectic schedule at the time. If Sean quit his job a little bit earlier, I bet I probably would have been able to film half of this. But yeah, and now the Beetle isn't running right. And I have that footage. There's no real end to it, But I've been thinking about throwing it up since, it kind of took place over this year. And I don't want it to sit until next year when we finally take it to a car show. But also, I have a car of my own. If people don't know, I'm a massive fan of Datsuns and love them. And at the end of August, a 1973 Datsun 280ZX came up on Facebook Marketplace. My mom found it, and it was $4,300. And the car's in great condition. The body is fucking mint. There's pictures on Instagram. But as of, my love of the Datsun, this car was infested with rats. So I've named the car the Ratson, and now I haven't recorded any videos with it yet. I hope to do a few things to it, you know, to make it my own. Not much, since we're already a little bit of money into it. And I could probably do a whole separate video telling the story of the car. I'm not going to really bore you at all with it, but yeah, I don't know if there's anyone out there that would be interested in seeing some of the real life, you know, car shenanigans that we get into with, like, you know, like my dad's truck, Sean's Beetle, Sean's Jeep, for however long he has it, whenever he gets a JL, and my Datsun. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it, so I just thought, you know, put it out there and say, hey, we have these vehicles, we might do stupid videos with them, would you like to see it? But yeah, just thought I'd use up a little bit of video time, since this is going to be a pretty short episode, to, you know, talk about the real life things, and see if you're interested in any of it, if you're interested in the Beetle content. I think I'm definitely going to upload the Beetle content, but I feel like I'm going to have to do a Datsun video at that point. But if there's anyone out there who's interested in it, leave a comment. Alright, we should be near this thing. I don't know where exactly it is. It's in an alley. Wow, there's a glitch texture there. It should be in an alley, somewhere near here. Oh, yep, there it is. Alright. Here we are. This is a Plymouth Fury. Yes. Probably didn't expect that, didn't you? But yes, this is a Plymouth Fury. This is a 318 in it. It's a 4-speed manual, open rear diff. Basically, it is a piece of shit garage kept car that is probably rat infested. And I don't care, because basically this is going to be a one-time use type of a car. So I'm going to be doing a special that involves, you know, some Mopars coming up very soon. Thanksgiving. Yeah. So you'll be seeing an episode getting one ready. At least I hope ready. But basically, you know, we're going to get, you know, a few together. And this has a Mopar 318 in it. And personally, you know, everybody shits on the 318. I don't know why. I think the 318 is a great motor. It seems the last. But is it the best Mopar? We'll find out. But until then, we won't know. And let me just say this. This thing is peppy for a 318. Very peppy. Oh yeah. It's a nice car, actually. Will I keep this thing? Probably not. If it survives, who knows? Maybe I'll throw a 440 in it or something, or turn this into something ridiculous. Oh, it won't do burnouts. Oh, it does a peel out. I keep forgetting this is a clutch. I could probably make it do a burnout. And just pull up right here. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's gutless. This is terrible. Wow. Well, this might not be the best of the Mopars, but I want a 318. This is going to be the smallest motor there. So Oh my god. All right. Well, here you are. We got a 318. We fixed the restart stow. Everybody wanted it to come back, and it's really all I could do for now. If you want to see more with the restart stow, because obviously there's a demand for it. If you want to see me, put a little bit bigger of an engine in it, or fix or put the stock rear end back in it, or do something cool with it, let me know. Leave a comment. You know, I'm open to suggestions for this series, and actually, I do want to put this out there for people who don't know. The Rotson video way back in June that I put up when we put the diesel in the Rotson. As terrible as that thing is, I actually finally had somebody reach out to me. I think Hello My Name Is, I think is his name. And I just want to put it out there. Thank you for the advice and everything for how to gear the transmission and the rear end. I did contact the mod developer and tried fixing it, but the Rotson still wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be. But I didn't want you to go unnamed or anything and just, think that you might not ever get a say in where the Rotson goes. I don't know if that car is ever going to come back. It's sat for a while, and truthfully, I hate the diesel. For some reason, it's a very popular video, and I'd love to bring it back if people like that type of shit. But I don't know. Might try fixing it, might shove a ton of nitrous in it, and try out Hello My Name Is advice and everything, and see. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.